I mean, there is a certain value you can go to
Yeah.
and still work. It's like, I don't know, 20%.
They do pretty well.
25%
Yeah.
of unemployment
Oh, yeah.
before you start losing unemployment.
Yeah,
You know, you can go over, but then you start subtracting the unemployment, which is fine.
yeah.
If you're working and you subtract some of it, that's okay. Until you get to that limit,
Mhm.
then you don't need it anymore.
Right.
I mean, it's just pretty simple.
There was, speaking of which, there was somebody that I knew that was on welfare. And she was trained in, or he was trained in a job
Mhm.
and started working in this job. And as soon as the income, I mean, it ended up, he ended up like $10 over the amount of being able to receive
Mhm.
any aid, welfare, food stamps, etc. It was just like this fraction of an amount.
Mhm.
So all that was taken away and could not, because still had the same amount of bills and then some, because going out to work and back, this person became afraid and
Right.
ended up completely dropping out of the job, etc., that they had to get put back on welfare
Yep.
because was not able to make it. What I really see something being developed. I've never heard of it, because I know that they have job counseling, etc., in place to try to place these people in jobs.
They don't want it. They don't want it. They
But
don't want to be trained.
I see. What do you think would be a solution to that?
Well, if you knew that you couldn't get a check to go down and get your meals, you're
gonna
gonna starve, or you're gonna go to work.
Yeah.
You know.
Period.
Period.
I mean, there should be some incentive to stop
To be
being
able to
on
stop
the goal,
this.
if you will.
Yeah.
There's gotta be incentive to get off.
The handouts have
Yeah.
got to stop.
I mean, there are some people that legitimately
Need it.
Need it.
But these
And
people make a career of it.
There should be.
Generations.
Yeah.
Generations.
Yeah.
Generations. Yeah. If you look at these people, their parents did the same thing, and they're trained.
Yep.
They're trained.
It's the
And
only
make
thing
a
they
career
know.
out of getting welfare.
I am seeing that.
It's the only thing they know.
There's a specific family.
I've been
that
seeing it for
yeah.
years and years and years and years. And I'll tell you, the state used to come in and check. They'd come in and check. I had a guy working. The state used to come in and check to make sure that he wasn't living there. Okay, because they had kids together. Okay, so they'd call ahead of time. Now they lived in his mother's house, an apartment upstairs. So what he would do would move out and move downstairs. They'd come and check. He'd move back upstairs. And he thought it was the biggest joke in the world.
Sure.
They warned him when they were coming, and he just moved downstairs. And she was collecting welfare, and he was working every single day. But they're not living together, supposedly, technically.
Yeah.
But they were living
So it
together.
still is a two-income home.
It's a two-income home.
Still is a two-income
That's
home.
right.
Only one of them isn't free money.
That's right. That's right.
It's frustrating angles. I don't know.
I know.
To be a representative or a senator in this state, you better do some serious praying and soul searching within yourself.
Well, I know
It's tough.
if the Democrats take over again in this state, I'm out of business. I'm gone. I'm leaving.
You gotta be close.
One of the
I'm
things
leaving.
that really has come across, that there's been a lot of people that I've talked to, and a lot of people with small businesses, and they said, and they aren't Democrat or Republican or anything like that, you know, they're not thinking on those lines. They'll just say, they just out and out said, whenever there's a Republican in office, my business does better. I don't know why, I just know that that's the case. I know that if it becomes Democrat, my business does not do as well. And it was a couple people that have said that in at different spots and places where I've talked to. And they aren't either way. They aren't, you know,
They
they're
just-
not
they just
these
noticed this.
diehard Democrat line or this diehard Republican line.
Abe Lincoln said you can't help the wage earner by pulling down the wage payer.
No, you can't.
You
And
can't.
the only reason why I became
Abe
a
Lincoln said that.
Republican, all this was because of Abe Lincoln.
Mhm.
He started the Republican Party, and he started the Republican Party because it was the only party that was against slavery
Mm-hmm.
and was working to abolish slavery in this country, and was also concerned about keeping America a republic, which is how he came out with that. So I said that.
The way things
that
are right now,
clinched
I
it.
feel like I'm a slave for the federal government.
And that's what they want.
And that's what they want.
Some do, some want that.
Yeah.
They want everybody to be dependent.
They don't want the hardworking man to be able to retire.
joyfully.
Because we're the ones that pay the band for everybody else to dance. The hardworking people, we're the ones that pay the band for everybody to dance.
Now, you're at gross coming up next year. They're gonna look, they're changing this from, your taxes are gonna be worked on your gross rather than your net.
Right. Well, we keep getting
It's gonna
hit.
be over that 250,000 mark pretty damn fast.
That is gonna make
That's a
people
bad-
not work, is
That's
what that's
right.
gonna do.
Well, now-
People are gonna look at
Depend
that
on the
and
government
say,
again.
people are gonna look at that and say, okay, that's as far as I'm gonna go, or I'm gonna go just a little bit above that, and I'm not going any farther. People are, they are not gonna
It's crazy.
grow. Businesses will not grow.
The owner of this restaurant, I was just sitting here with him last week, and he was telling me that with this health care, the fact that he doesn't give health care to his employees here, he's getting penalized
To be fined. basically.
$4,000 a year.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so what's he got to do to make that up? He got to raise the price of that menu,
I know.
so we all pay.
Yeah.
He'll be going out of business eventually.
Should be going out
You'll
of
be
business.
going out of business.
Volume here isn't
Yeah.
that great.
Now that's not okay.
No, it ain't.
This is the Obama
Because
plan.
now there's 3 or 4 people out of work.
Mm-hmm.
To say nothing about him.
No, of course I'm not very smart. I'm just a dumb roofer. But you know, I looked at this
Never
Obama
been to
thing.
college yet?
No. Yeah, I school of hard knocks. School of hard knocks. You look at this, all this stimulus money that Obama was giving out to banks and billions, trillions. Okay?
What?
Now, if he took that money and divided it up to the working man in this country, wouldn't that have stimulated the country?
Absolutely.
He gave all that money to the banks and they're not lending.
Still sitting on it.
They're sitting on it. You know what they're doing? Buying islands, buying nice retirement homes to retire on. That's what they're doing with
There
that
was-
money.
Some of them are getting sneaky.
There was a movie that I saw, and this was in, it was a World War II movie. Oh, okay, I just want to finish the story. There was, and then, because this is so good. This was a World War II story, and it had Audrey Hepburn and Spencer, Tracy in the movie. It was 1945, and Audrey Hepburn owned this home, and Spencer Tracy was the caretaker. And there was a scene where the door opens and all these guys are coming in with all this equipment and everything else, and Audrey Hepburn is going, no, you get this stuff out of my house, get this stuff out of my house. And Spencer Tracy said, well, no, the government has asked us as a war effort to be able to figure out how to make a mask for our soldiers so that they can breathe at, like, I don't know, over 10,000 feet. So he was looking for a mask for pilots. So what happened was that the military and the government had said to the people, you're the solution. You go into your basements, get whatever equipment you can, and start tinkering, playing around, and let's invent stuff together. So all these private homes during the war were in, were
Laboratories.
were laboratories. And then what they would do is that they would then take whatever it is that they made, if it worked, they brought it to a board, and then the board would test it.
Right.
And whoever's was the best was the one that the military or the board or the government would take and produce and use for the soldiers. Now tell me, where's the solution gonna come
Yeah.
from? It's not gonna come from the top. It's gonna come
No,
from the bottom,
never
and
does.
that's us. Jim, thanks so much. This is like way cool. I'm so glad you came.
Yeah.
I am so glad. Mike, as always.
Nice to see you again.
Absolute pleasure.
Good luck.
Now, I hope you vote for me,
Oh, you betcha
because
I'm
you'll be
gonna.
coming with me.
Yep.
You'll be coming with me.
Need some signs.